James Lynch here with Sportskeeda MMA. Happy to be joined by Chris Curtis. I just butchered my intro, by the way, but it's all good. I know, not too good. I know you're a podcast veteran now. You got all...
I'm becoming into the space. I got to hit you up and get some tips because I don't know the
Anytime. Yeah, you know.
We'll get you on there.
Oh, I'd love to be on. That would be great. I think Strickland would just roast me for an hour. But let's talk about you, man. I actually wanted to start first with this this Twitter troll about this whole Jack Della Maddalena fight. So you accepted the fight. Chris, why are you engaging with these people? That's my first question.
I have a lot of free time, and guys, I have a lot of free time, and honestly, I enjoy arguing. I argue with anyone about anything. You name a topic, I will argue with you about it. Even if I don't believe I'm right, I'll still argue it. I was going to be a lawyer, and hey, some of that rubs off.
Yeah, it took a sharp turn fighting. And you talk a bit about the Jack fight, because I know you were putting your hand up to get that fight. Obviously, you fight at middleweight, but you fought most of your career at 170.
Yeah, when everything fell apart, he's like, hey, I'll fight 70 or 85. And I'm like, I'm fighting 85 now. I did my entire career pretty much at 70. So I was like, hey, bro, like, I'll fight. Like, I'm smart. I got my eye was better, started feeling better. My vision really came back all the way, like last Saturday. The first time I sparred, I could see everything. So I was like, hey, man, the cut's healed. I can get cleared. Dude flew from, where is he from? Like Australia? I'm like, guys, like, you don't want to, you bring your family, you fly from Australia to US, like a 15-hour flight, 20, more than that. You bring your family and then not fight. That sucks. I'm like, bro, I'm in Vegas. I'm in shape. I'll fight. I've got no problem. It's whatever. I'll do it. So we threw a hat in. My managers hit up his managers. Within an hour, Jack's like, yes. Like, Jack D's like,
oh, okay.
His management's like, Jack's in. Chris is in. Cool. The issue becomes, two different weight classes. We need to approve by two different matchmakers. And the biggest caveat was I'm technically scheduled already. And they were like, didn't want to blow that fight up to make this one. So I went with somebody else. But now that fight fell out for him. And people were like, oh, you should have took the fight, blah, blah, blah. Duck, guys, I don't think Jack's ever ducked anybody, like, at all. Like, the dude would fight a bear if you let him. So, like, they're just ignorant people, like, oh, you duck Jack, or Jack duck you. Like, no, bro. Like, we were like, yeah, let's do it. I've got nothing but love for Jack. I think he's one of my favorite fighters right now. Like, I love his style. Absolutely love it. It would have been a freaking banger, man. I love it. And people are idiots.
How did you find out that the fight was off? Because we found out yesterday, like, literally here at Media Row.
Yeah, I think my manager was like, he's like, oh, the Jack fight fell through. And I was like, what happened? Then I Googled it, and I was like, holy hell, that guy.
That's like what Vince Murdoch had, right?
Yeah, that's dude, lucky for him. Like, that's, I'm not a religious guy, guys, but sometimes, like, miracles do happen. And if you got a brain disease like that, you don't want to go fight Jack and get hit in the head.
Now, have you been, like, avoiding black cats, not breaking mirrors, not going under ladders, man? You've had some terrible luck with what happened in Vancouver. I got to ask, though, how did you like Vancouver? Because I lived there. It was pretty sunny there. Looked like you had a good time prior to the fight, actually.
Before the fight and after the fight, I loved Vancouver. That place is gorgeous. I can only imagine how much it costs to, like, live in the city.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was looking around. Like, there's boats. I'm like, I don't think I have money now. I'm not sure if I could afford to live there, like, permanently.
I live in the burbs, a little bit cheaper, but yeah, I understand for sure.
Oh, dude, I want to live on the water. It's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been in. Like, what's freaky though is it's like 10 o'clock at night and the sun's still out, and I'm like, fucking vampire, what's happening here? Like,
yeah, it's just the time of year. It gets dark. Trust me, it gets really dark in the winter. You don't like it. It's you live back east, you know what it's like. So you mentioned that you had a fight scheduled that fell through. Are you able to reveal any information on that, like when that was supposed to be or what?
No, my fight didn't fall through. I was still fighting Fluffy Hernandez.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're fighting Fluffy.
September 16th, Mexican Independence Day. Yeah, so I get to fight. I'm so excited to be on there. Like, guys, back home, one of my nicknames was the Black Mexican from Coach Stafford, and I have a nickname that's El Diablo Negro de Sinaloa. So I love Mexico. I love the Mexican fans, so this is really exciting to be on Mexican Independence Day.
Had you two ever, like, trained? Because I know he sometimes comes through Vegas every now and then.
I don't think we've ever run into each other. Like, Vegas is a weird place. They're like, he's been in the gym. I was like, I don't think I've ever actually seen Fluffy in person. So, like, I don't know. Somehow we're just two ships that never, passing in the night, man. We never got it.
How are you looking at that fight style-wise as far as the matchup?
I love it, man. Fluffy's a grinder. Fluffy's a guy who's going to fight you for 15 minutes or 25 minutes, doesn't matter. Fluffy's not a guy who's trying to win on points. I respect that more than anything else. if you can tap me or knock me out, like I'll never be mad at you. Like, well, hell yeah, like more power to you. I hate people that want to win on points. I don't like it. I don't think fans like it. It's not a fun way to fight. Like people don't want to spend money to watch two guys point fight or if somebody play it safe. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be two guys who like to grind, and it's just gonna see whose will wins.
Anything different for this camp or business as usual?
For me, we're just working on adding more and more stuff to the toolbox. I always get yelled at for having a big toolbox, but just wanting to use a hammer. So I really got to work on this one for maybe trying to finally show that I'm not boxing, I'm an MMA fighter, and use the tools you have. I get yelled at a lot about that. So we showed a few more things in the Imavov fight. I threw kicks, so stop telling me to kick. I threw kicks. I threw more kicks than he did. Stop telling me I don't kick. So, but just keep adding in things, getting more comfortable doing things, adding stuff in the toolbox.
What's your prediction for the fight? Early prediction?
I don't know. So as much as we both like finishes, we're both really hard to stop. Probably 15 minutes of grueling trench warfare. And you know what, guys? I got no problem with the fight going to decision if two guys try to kill each other and nobody dies. Sometimes it'd be like that.
Was there ever any talk of rebooking the fight with Imavov?
Yeah, man. The only issue is
Paris, right?
Yeah, Paris. I don't want to go to Paris. French fans, before you crucify me here, this wasn't about Paris. Me saying Paris sucks. Because I had a lot of talk with the French fans. Paris seems interesting. I swore to a few fans I would go there relatively soon and see the city for myself. The issue became really that I've got a kid on the way. And it's the fight date for Paris is roughly within 3 weeks of my kid being born, and it's my lady's first child. I don't want to be out of country that close to the due date. If anything goes wrong, I'm just I can't get home. So I'm not comfortable being that far away from that point in time. Younger me would have done it, but as I get older, I've realized there's more important things in my life than fighting, and very few things more important than fighting.
Did Imavov's team ever reach out to you saying hey, sorry or anything like that for what happened?
No, f*** that guy. But no, he said nothing. F*** that guy. F*** him and off.
There you go.
But hilariously, a lot of French fans reached out, and they're like, "Man, sorry to see that." So I'll eat my words. There's a lot of French fans that I've had really fun conversations with, and I get the rage about the French jokes. I understand. I had some people break it down to me, the meaning behind some of it and why they take it so seriously. And I backed off of my attack on the French because of some fans kind of so nothing but respect for you guys, whatever. Fuck you, Imavov. But I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, guys.
Well, he doesn't speak much English, so I don't know if you can hear it.
He does, yeah, he does.
I don't think it's going on empty ears. Quickly, I got to know, did you ever have the opportunity to go with Sean Strickland to do Joe Rogan's podcast? Because I feel like you guys are a team.
No, that was all him.
Were you jealous a little bit?
Fuck no. I expected Sean to get himself canceled immediately. So I was set sail, good luck to you. I wasn't getting involved in that one at all.
I haven't listened to it yet, but there was that clip that was circulating about how the Abus Magomedov fight came together, about how his manager was watching Sean and Marvin fight. Is that story accurate? What's your take on it?
I mean, Ali will pop in. Ali's got a lot of guys at Extreme. So he will be there from time to time. He's there a lot less now than he used to be. But, I mean, yeah, I'm not really sure how much that played into, that decision. Because apparently there's, other things are in the background between that. So I'm not really sure how much that's Ali versus whatever. But, I mean, you got to understand that, for Sean, it feels like, hey, man, you came in, you think I suck, so you, hired a guy.
Well, I think it was clear they were trying to boost him up, right? Yeah, he had one fight against a guy who was 1-3 in the UFC.
Yeah, that was weird. I still don't understand that at all. That's just...
I got to ask you as well, as a friend of Sean's, going into the fight, I mean, the odds were kind of close, and then you're hearing people talking about him being a future champion. He fought in PFL. He lost to Lewis Taylor. Were you surprised that there were so many people, high on this guy? And granted, he won the first round, but the fact that he gassed so hard in the second, I think, showed that the match didn't really make a lot of sense.
Never attribute to malice what can be easily identified as stupidity. Honestly, it's funny. When this fight got announced, before he took it, Sean called me. He's like, all right, this is who they're offering me. And I was like, give me an hour, let me look, and I'll call you back. Called him back, this is a stupid fight. And no disrespect to Abus, but after doing the research, I told Sean, this is free money. You have no reason not to take this fight. Abus can fight. but he's never, like, there are levels, unfortunately, and he's stepped towards this level. And I was like, yeah, man, but I love my job, guys. I love the UFC, but I think one of my biggest critiques is that sometimes they go a little bit all in on the hype train. And unfortunately, there's a lot of the casual fans will see these like see the hype, and they're not gonna do the research themselves. It's like fight hype is like reading a headline, or people seeing a headline on Instagram. You're not gonna do the research yourself 9 out of 10 times. You're just like, okay, that's what the headline says. Now I'm gonna go like repeat the same shit, and that's kind of what happens. Like, click the article, guys. Don't read the headline.
Chris, thanks so much for doing this. Enjoy the rest of Vegas, the rest of camp. Always good seeing you. Anything you want to say before we get out of here to the audience?
Don't do drugs unless they're, I'm not going to go there with that because I'm going to get me in trouble. Regardless, thank you guys. Tune in, man. Have fun. I love you guys, the fans. None of this would be possible if you guys didn't show up for this. So this has been a really fun experience. I love you guys, man, and I'll see you in September.
Perfect. Thanks, buddy.